Mexico's Sinaloa state is in the grip of a bloody cartel war. And Culiacán is a city in need of saviors. Night after night, it's these paramedics who cast light in Sinaloa's darkest hours. Julio and Hector are volunteer paramedics. They go where most fear to tread. Between them, they've more than 40 years' experience treating the sick, the injured, the dying. Culiacán is their home, and their city of almost 1 million people is awash with fear.
En el asiento de la patrulla.
Every shift starts the same. Carefully checking their kit and their most essential piece of equipment, their bulletproof vests.
Hello, Hector, why do you need flak jackets to do your job?
Because unfortunately, the environment is no longer safe for us. Even though we are not a target, we are not a direct objective for organized crime, there are many collateral victims. We are afraid that while responding to any kind of accident on the street, we could become victims of crossfire or an indirect attack and be hit by stray bullets.
Basically, in addition to the situation getting worse, it tends to break all patterns. Suddenly there is no set time, no date, no day with higher incidents. It can happen at any moment. And over the past year, there has definitely been an upward trend.
Their city is home to the Sinaloa cartel. It was Mexico's most powerful drugs gang until a civil war playing out on these streets left it weakened. But wounded, it is more dangerous than ever. So for the paramedics, there is little rest. They're in for a long day ahead. Cartel attacks come day or night, and they can happen anywhere. This one is in the centre of the city. In the last year, the two men have seen incidents jump by 70%. They've never been busier.
We are responding to 2 people injured. They are asking for help at the incident, so Hector and I are going to see what we can do for the victims.
Thousands of federal troops are on the streets of Sinaloa, but it's done little to stop the daily murderous violence. The cartel is tearing itself apart, and the people of Culiacán are caught in the middle. Julio and Hector arrive just in time. First medics on the scene as usual. This man has taken a bullet to the chest, a bystander in the shootout between Sinaloa factions. They have to work fast. There's always the danger the gunman will return. And there's another victim. He's critically injured. Julio calls out to him, but he isn't responding. Mexico says it's beating the cartels, but it doesn't feel like that in Culiacán. This suffering has never been worse. They rush to the nearest hospital. It's rare to find cartel victims still breathing. But today is a good day. This man and the other survive. Outside, the military has set up a cordon. Even hospitals aren't safe from cartel reprisals.
Dangerous.
Everything is dangerous. There are procedures in place at this hospital for the gunshot victims. It's to prevent the cartels from coming back and finishing them off.
As the sun sets, Culiacán streets go quiet. It's the men who lurk in the shadows who are in control here. These men are vicious criminals fighting other gang members for an illegal drugs business worth billions. The Sinaloa cartel's arsenal rivals that of the Mexican military. It will kill anyone, politicians, journalists, civilians, who stand in its way. But its members have gone to war with each other after the son of one of their leaders betrayed another. Their power struggle is a fight to the death, and they show little remorse. They insisted we disguise their voices.
The civil war in the cartel has created a bloodbath in Culiacán. Women are being killed, kids are being killed. Do you feel guilty about that?
Yes, a lot of times innocent people die, children die. There is a lot of death of innocent people.
A lot of people will keep dying because the cartel is still fighting, and it's going to keep getting worse. This war will continue. Nothing will come down until there is only one faction left.
It's not safe here after dark, and every new day brings fresh horrors. Today it's a 16-year-old boy. The second member of his family to be shot dead. Emmanuel Alexander was shot nearly a dozen times at close range. A targeted killing. The cartel is strong in this neighbourhood and uses young men as spotters. Its spies are ever present, and no one was willing to answer our questions.
There are two wars going on here in Mexico at the moment. There's the government's war against the cartels, and then there's the civil war within the cartel. And they are brutal and they are vicious. So right now, just in that tarpaulin back there, the police are taking away the body of a 16-year-old boy. There are no rules in these wars. Everyone is fair game, and there isn't a day that goes by here where this doesn't happen, where someone's loved ones are found dead on the pavement. And that means that Sinaloa is one of the most dangerous places in this country, and Culiacán is its deadliest city.
No amount of government firepower can stop the tit-for-tat killings. Every murder a message, a warning.
It's not even 12 hours since the last killing, and yet another body on the pavement. This victim appears to have been tortured. His skin has been removed. This just gives you an idea of the extent of the infighting here in Culiacán.
Ernesto Martinez has been a crime reporter here for decades. He's never seen it this bad.
The scale of violence never stops surprising us. Every day we feel shocked by something, and we say among ourselves, that's it, they've gone too far, they've gone too far with this. But then something else appears that surprises us even more. And it doesn't end, it just keeps increasing. The scale of terror keeps growing.
It's barely comprehensible. Medieval killings in modern Mexico. The sign covering the man's corpse is a letter from one faction to another. He died a horrible death. His skull flayed, his eyes removed. His killers accuse him of being a traitor. The note on the body warns, we are coming for the rest of you.
You can follow me.
Here is the root cause of Mexico's misery, fentanyl and its traffickers.
What we have here is fentanyl. This product is ready to be sent to the United States and pressed into pills.
This lethal drug and the battle to control it has cost the lives of tens of thousands, here and in the United States. He takes no responsibility. There is no shame for what he does.
Even though President Donald Trump refers to us as terrorists, I would just remind him that as long as there are consumers, we're going to keep doing this. But that doesn't necessarily make us terrorists. As long as people want to consume it, they are free to do so. No one forced them to start using this stuff.
America has threatened to strike if Mexico doesn't stop these men and their poisonous trade.
Even though the government has intensified their search, they're coming after us more and getting closer, yes. But when it comes to production, we've never stopped. Sometimes we do scale back because things get hot. The government gets too close, so we lay low for a few days. But once that problem passes, we either continue or move to other areas.
The terror is relentless. This is Culiacán's morning routine. Another body left in pieces, skinned and placed in bin bags. He was dumped by a main road into the city. A blood-soaked message from one cartel faction to another, perhaps a response to the earlier murder, an unstoppable cycle in a civil war. Commuters, young and old, may have seen it all before, but it doesn't pay to linger here. Fear is everywhere and fear is constant. Few will risk a second glance at this fresh killing.
Good morning, President Scheinbaum. Quentin Sommerville from the BBC. I've spent the last week in Sinaloa, where despite an enormous military presence, there is appalling violence every day, murders, assassinations, terrible mutilations. What's it going to take for your government to bring that violence under control?
Ha disminuido el número de homicidios.
The number of homicides has gone down. What triggered this violence? The split of a criminal group caused by one of that group's leaders being taken to the United States, something that was never very clear how it happened. That led to an internal power struggle. What are we doing? Trying to avoid harm to civilians, to the people.
Hemos logrado reducir.
We have managed to reduce it, and in recent months, keep the number of homicides down. And we will continue working to protect the people of Sinaloa.
But with all due respect, it doesn't feel like that in Culiacán. People there say that the violence has never been so bad, it has never gone on for so long. They had so much hope when you sent the Marines there, when you sent the Army there, but instead their daily lives have got more terrifying and much worse. So what do you say to the people of Culiacán?
Y seguimos trabajando en Sinaloa y en todo el país. Lo que sí.
We continue working in Sinaloa and throughout the country. What is clear is that confrontation leads nowhere. Direct confrontation leads nowhere. Of course, federal forces defend themselves when there are attacks. It is about arrest, 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 and addressing the root causes. Intelligence, lots of intelligence. And we will always continue working for the people. Always.
Men and women, young and old, the people of Culiacán are paying a heavy price for the war on drugs. These are the disappeared, cartel victims missing for days, weeks, months, and even years. Their fates unknown, their bodies never laid to rest. Their families want answers. They want the killing to stop. And they want justice.
My brother was also murdered. My soul is in pain.
They call themselves Mothers Fighting Back. And Ronaldo Pulido is their leader. Her son, Javier Ernesto, was just 16 when he went missing. Ronaldo probes the ground, checking for the smell of decomposition. She's still searching for him, and for hundreds of others too. She's received tip-offs that the cartel has buried a victim somewhere in this field.
Can someone lend me a shovel?
They've recovered dozens of bodies over the years. They've become expert in their grim task.
I wake up every day and I ask God, tell me why I'm here. And what gives me strength is realizing that no one else is going to look for them. I realize it because no one is moving to search for the disappeared in Sinaloa. And a mother will always look for her child. No matter if it's to the ends of the earth, she will look.
A military escort is required here for even the simplest act, asking for information on a missing person. Their posters can be seen as a challenge to the ever-watchful cartels. But these brave women, who despite the threats and in the face of official indifference, keep the names of their loved ones alive.
Es una manera de visualizar a nuestros desaparecidos.
This is a way for us to visualize our disappeared loved ones. As families, we create these images so that when people see their faces, they don't forget that their families are waiting for them at home. So what happens? People see them and make an anonymous call to the civil association, Mothers Fighting for Their Return Home, and then they tell us, you know what, there's information about this person, or there's a grave here. And that's how we've been locating sites lately. With all the violence and the fighting, there have been many graves we've found.
And Ronalda isn't alone in her grief, nor in her search for her son, Javier Ernesto.
It's been 5 years since he's been gone. Are you ever going to give up looking for him?
It's something I ask myself very often. But I've already found my son in the 250 bodies I've located, and in the 30-something people I've found alive. They are my children too, and the children of all the families who come to ask me for help become my children. My son is there, in each and every one of them. All of them carry a little piece of my son.
These are the heroes of Culiacán's worst days, and they won't stop. Julio and Hector get the call to yet another cartel shooting, and the body armour goes on first. These first responders might be witnessing the end of the Sinaloa cartel, but it will be a slow, bloody death. And at this call out, there is nothing to be done. The victim's wife ran here when she heard the news, but he's already gone. The Mexican government is taking on the gangs and having some success, but here there is no victory in sight. The drugs keep flowing and the bodies keep piling up.
How bad is the violence these days in Culiacán?
We live day to day constantly responding to scenes of extreme violence, scenes where criminals have no limits when it comes to locations or times. It can be outside a school, in the city center. The fear is constant. Hospitals, outside funeral homes, outside restaurants. The fear is everywhere and the fear is constant.
The Sinaloa cartel is facing turmoil like never before. Hector and Julio are at its epicenter. And despite the fear, tomorrow they'll face its horrors again. If the cartel can't be defeated here, there will be no peace for Culiacán and no peace for Mexico.